Welcome everybody to another one of our podcasts, South Florida Sports Therapy. This is our third one that we're doing. So far, we're putting one out every week, and maybe further down the line, we'll be going more often than that. Um, Today, we have a juicy one for you. But before we go into all the details and all the topics we want to talk about, of course, we'd like to ask you guys to, uh, click on the like button, subscribe, show us that you are with us as Dolphins fans, South Florida teams fans. Um, and keep up with us and help us grow because we are a new channel, we are a new podcast, and we need that growth and that support from you guys. And also, I would like to say, whatever you hear from this podcast, we are not experts, or we don't call ourselves any kind of expert at anything.
Just fans.
We're just fans. We're just fans. Putting our 2 cents together, um, crying out loud. You know, and of course, I'm Johnny B. This is Sean J. Sean, what do you guys for us today?
All right, so a little bit of the schedule of the topics that we're going to talk about. Obviously, we're always going to talk about signings and cuts during this off season. We're going to talk about the injuries that we're facing because it seems like it's a thing that's increasing over time.
It's every team right now.
Yeah, it's every team.
Yeah.
It's weird. We're going to talk about a little bit about the preseason game. And I want to touch on a couple video reactions. I want to do a couple video reactions, touch on a couple things that it's been in the media, been talks about this whole Tua and Flores thing, and a couple of the talks about just quarterbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that. And we did say it wasn't gonna be this video, but we are gonna do the depth chart predictions. We wanted to do it before the third preseason game because it's more of a challenge.
Yeah.
And more
Yeah.
before any more cuts happen, we just wanted to see where we're at and what we think of the roster. But to start it off, we're gonna do the new signings and cuts.
All right.
There's not that many big ones. There was one that was probably like, wow, but here we go. We signed running back Xander Horvath and Anthony McFarland. I think that was due to injury that we had on the back end of the depth chart.
Yeah. With Brooks.
Yeah, with Brooks getting hurt in the last game.
Yeah.
Linebacker Daquan Jackson and wide receiver Jadon Janke. We signed them. And then we play Sean Harlow and Willie Snead on injured reserve. And for me, that kind of just diminishes Snead's chances of making the roster.
Snead's going to be cut. Well, we'll get into that.
He might not be cut because he's on IR, but... And then we released Savon Ahmed. That's the one that was kind of like the
biggest news. That's the biggest news.
Yeah. And we did waive Vanderberg, but he did get hurt, so we waived him.
So let's talk about those. Let's start with Ahmed. If you're a Dolphins fan, you like Ahmed. For the past 4 years. 4 years, right?
Something like that.
No, 5 years. He was there
he was
before
Tua. He was here with Gaskin.
Right. So you kind of like Ahmed because it always seems like he's this close to breaking a big one. He was. Shall we say he was the A-chain before the A-chain?
Nah.
No.
Someone read his 40 one time, and it's not that fast.
It's not that fast. Okay.
But he seems fast. Like
he seems fast, and he seems like he needs one more inch to break a big one. But he's always the odd man out when it comes to the running back group. But we wish him the best.
I doubt he won't get picked up, but hopefully we can sign him to the practice squad. But I doubt he's gonna be laying around out there. We'll
never
see.
know.
You never know. Because didn't that happen last year? Didn't we cut him? I think we cut him.
I think we did. I
And
think
then
we
we added
did
him to the
because
practice squad. Something like
yeah,
similar. It was one of the running backs, I think.
no, because we had Wilson and Brooks last year. Well, Brooks was injured last year.
Yeah, Brooks is.
you know, but we'll be talking about Brooks a little bit doing when we're doing the depth chart. But the second is McFarland. That's another name that's kind of interesting to me. But everybody else, when it comes to the new signings,
Yeah, it's not
eh,
really. Yeah.
they're just bodies they
It's just bought
stuffing
it.
into.
It's for the game
Yeah,
because
it's
we
it's
need guys to play. We're not going to start the second stringers, the
yeah,
guaranteed second stringers, and the starters are not playing.
no,
So this
no,
is all last minute. Who can make the roster?
yep.
um, and that's that. As far as injuries, we've had a couple of injuries that came up, and we're gonna talk about them.
Of course, Brooks.
Brooks is the biggest one. Not the biggest. What do you think? Because
Brewer
no,
and
bro,
Brewer.
but he's. I think he's getting better. He's
Right,
getting
but
closer to
but he
playing.
he would have to be the biggest one. Let's say that whatever they think is worse, because they say week to week, they don't put a time frame, and you guys know what we go through when it comes to centers.
Yeah,
So I would say he's the biggest injury news that we have, and then Brooks, um, mainly because I thought that he was going to make the squad
yeah,
over Wilson, uh, but that injury just flipped things around.
yeah. I think Wilson is
Yeah,
gonna. But it
Wilson has to
was
be
tough.
in.
Honestly, if Brooks was healthy and he wasn't he's going on the IR.
Uh, he might go on the IR or pup, PUP.
I thought we were gonna keep all of them, and I don't know. Aqua was probably
Yeah,
gonna be the odd man out either way for me,
if
but
if you keep five, which is unlikely, which if
this
you
is
keep
very
five running
unlikely.
running backs,
Then you can't have
you
as many
know,
receivers
then
or
you
and tight ends.
right.
So, so the
And
next big injury I think we could talk about is Craycraft. Craycraft, um, he's gonna be gone for probably at least half of the season. So
I
that's
almost
gonna
forgot about that.
that's gonna that's gonna change the depth chart even more because we still don't know about Odell. We don't know if we're gonna go ahead and keep more tight ends, more receivers. Like, how do you feel about it? I don't like it. He's always been reliable. Kind of bothers
Yes,
me.
but at the same time, it opens the door for somebody else, and I want to talk about that later when we're going through the depth chart.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. A couple injuries we probably shouldn't be too worried about. We already know the Odell situation. Tyreek Hill's been having this nagging like hand thing. He's just they're just taking precautionary measures. They're not really practicing him. It's nothing too serious.
I feel
Uh,
like every year, like Tyreek has something that people are wondering about, but he's always gonna be fine.
yeah,
He's a cheater. He said cheaters don't get hurt.
yeah. Waddle, he was practicing. So that's good
Wait, are
news.
we gonna go through all the
I'm
injuries?
I'm just why are you saying that? Can we go through these injuries? Like, can we just go through them real quick?
I'm just saying.
Like, we gotta update the people. Um, the one that we kind of already talked about, Willie Snead's out. He's on injury reserve. Maybe we'll see him later down the year. Maybe we won't, but he got waived, and that's really it with that. Oh no, it's not it. You see, this is an important one, and you're trying to skip over Cam Smith. Cam Smith.
No. When I said I'm talking about like the important ones, like Cam Smith. Yeah, bring that up.
So Waddle having a little nagging
It's a
injury
little
now
knack. That's what I'm saying. It's. I don't think Hill, Waddle. I don't take those serious. Right?
until they're not playing.
You wouldn't. They're gonna be ready day one.
But yeah, Cam Smith. Cam Smith, he's week to week hamstring issue. I don't really expect it to be anything too crazy. but hopefully he'll be up and ready to go.
Still hamstring.
Hey,
Yep,
now
true.
let's talk about the preseason game. Um, what are your thoughts on it? How do you feel on who do you think performed well? Same thing.
Wait a minute.
Bless
That was a silent sneeze. Let's go.
you. Who do you think performed well? Who do you think kind of made their case a little bit better by the performance by the preseason game? What did you like? What didn't you like? Same thing.
All right. So Chop Robinson, I think he showed why he was picked again. But
Speed.
yeah, do this fast, man. But somebody I was looking at, uh, Jordy Fortson.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of more,
I,
reps and recognition.
I'm like, okay, he can block, you know, because I was mainly looking at that because we know Janu's main, you know, duties are gonna be. Uh, we know Connor is gonna be a dual, tight end, blocking and receiving. Uh, Smythe is Smythe. I was looking at okay, who else? Julian Hill, Fortune. But again, that's gonna go into our depth chart. But yeah, I was kind of impressed with his blocking. Who else I can think of? Again, it's preseason. I tend to not make big deals about certain
No,
players,
we're strictly talking about
but
making the roster. Like
right.
who's showing out to make the roster, and that's what matters.
I don't think anybody surprising. I don't think anybody outside of the usual guys would be thinking about it. I don't think anybody really elevated themselves.
Eric Uzukama, he made a little bit of a case to make the roster
Yeah,
because he came off the injury and he just had a big game. So
right.
I
Yeah.
think that was the biggest one for me. And
Well, he had like five
he had
catches.
a good game.
He had a really good game.
But one thing that as far as quarterback play, and again, we're gonna go into all of this with the depth chart. I just think Skyler kind of proved himself over Mike White. Not he didn't prove himself to be like a starter or anything, but
Yeah.
I think he made it a little bit more of a gap. Who's the number two? I think I feel more confident with Skyler over Mike White. That's just my opinion, and that's what I really got from that game.
So since we pretty much everything is tied up to our next topic, which is the depth chart, let's get into it, and we'll walk these details in between.
Okay, so we're going position by
We're going
position.
position by position.
Okay, so position by position, we're gonna start with
Let's
quarterback.
let's start with QBs. Yeah.
So Tua and Skyler for me. I think
Uh,
I think it's Tua and Skyler, and then obviously that emergency QB, like third string, whatever position is gonna be Mike White, which is not a roster spot. So
okay.
is it a roster spot?
It's not. It
Okay.
doesn't count on the 53. Yes, that's exactly how I have mine. I think Skyler to me, I wouldn't say clear number two, but edged out White. Um, White was so unimpressive, man.
Yeah, he
You
didn't
know,
really,
it-
and I don't even think that Skyler was impressive. I think he's trying to push the ball down the field. He's moving around inside the pocket. Like if there's like some life to him,
yeah.
I think that's the difference. It's almost night and day on who's more active, who's trying to push the ball downfield, who's you know attempting the big play. Like I think that's the
You
difference.
know what I think? I think we should cut Mike White.
I think we should cut him.
I
I
think we
think we
should
should
cut
put.
him and maybe get a UDFA quarterback, like a young quarterback that
I'm hearing
that
talks on that too.
that who can come in and maybe end up being that second leapfrog Skyler and be that and
During the
be
season, yeah.
so I think and White, if we cut him, that's what $5 million against the cap.
I
Because
don't
he already got
remember.
his guaranteed last year. From what I remember, he was guaranteed 4 million, 4.5 million out of the $8 million contract. Um, and I think his cap hit is 5 million. I think we can use that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
I just don't see him on the roster.
Yeah, me neither.
Even that emergency third, I
Yeah,
don't see it,
yeah,
unfortunately. And he seems like a really cool guy, man.
yeah.
But next position is
We're gonna do running back.
the running backs. Um,
I think
I Good.
after Brooks's injury, I think he made it easy.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna keep four. We usually keep around four,
yeah.
so I think it's easy. It's obviously Mostert, HN, Wright, and Wilson.
Yeah.
I hope, I don't know, because well, no, I think we put him on the pup. I think we put him on IR, whatever the case may be.
Oh, we keeping him.
If he has a concussion,
Yeah.
because I don't think he's gonna be out there if we cut him.
No, we can't cut him. We're gonna stash him in the practice squad if
But
it's
but you have to cut him first. That's the problem. To get him on the practice squad, you have to cut him, and that's the
that's
tough
true.
part. And I don't want to lose him. I don't want to lose him at
That's true.
all. So
Do we put him on? First of all, it's we don't know how the concussion protocol thing is going. I don't think I have any info on that. I don't know if you do. And I have to do more research on that. Um, does he have to? So does he have to have some kind of update before the roster cut? What's the 27th of August? I think.
next Tuesday.
Or I don't know, but I'd rather keep him. We like you said, we can't put him
Practice
on
squad.
practice squad because I don't think he'll last.
Um,
Well, hold on. You have to cut him, and he has to survive
has to
everything.
survive.
Yeah.
And even I don't know. Even if you're on the practice squad, you could get took. I think that's how it works.
No.
In certain cases, yeah.
Once you're on the practice squad, man, you belong
No,
to
someone
the
can
team.
claim you to their active roster. You can do that.
This is why we say we're not experts at anything. We're just fans.
I'm not an expert, but I know this. This is a fact, though. Like, you can get claimed off the practice squad. You can
I
definitely get
can't
claimed.
remember if that's the case or not, but I'll go with what you said.
But
So-
yeah, that's my biggest fear. That's probably like out of most of the guys that we might end up having on the practice squad, or maybe cutting that we're gonna try to sign onto the practice squad. He's probably the biggest one that I'm fearful of because I'm sorry. As much as I love Brooke, I can't put him over Wilson. Wilson's been doing good during training camp, and he's running hard. And we've seen him. We've seen him in the real games. This is his third year with us. We've seen him actually. We haven't gotten to see Brooks for us to be like, yeah, him over Jeff Wilson.
And when we do see Brooks, it always seems like he's got something.
Yeah.
But
when we've seen him, this is the only time we've seen him. Preseason last year, preseason this year, and that one Broncos game when we were up by when we scored 70.
Yeah.
When he got hurt again. So it's we don't have a large sample size of real in-season football, and I can't put him over Jeff Wilson. So that's me on that. But next position, wide receiver. Wide receiver is going to be tough because there's a lot of if and buts. OBJ Publis is going to get is he going to be out before week 1, week 2? Is Craycraft going to be available mid-season? So this is my list. I obviously Tyreek, Waddle, that's clear as day. I have Easy E making the squad. So I'm only having 5. Waddle, Tyreek, Berrios, Izukama, and Malik Washington. The reason being, I only having 5, we're gonna get 2 back, and I think we're gonna keep 4 tight ends this year. Last season we only kept 3 or 2, 3.
Last season we
We
had three.
we had 3,
Yeah,
and I feel way
we had
more
Connor,
confident.
Smythe, and Hill.
Yeah, it was Connor Smythe and Hill. So I believe we're gonna keep 4 this year in replace of the injuries we're dealing with Odell and Craycraft. I don't think Braylon Sanders is gonna make the squad. I know the Dolphins are kind of high on him. He's been having a decent camp,
Why
but I think
not?
he got hurt or something, and I don't trust him over what we have in the tight end room. I think,
So I don't think.
and don't forget, Achan is gonna be a true dual threat this year.
I believe
That's
so.
another reason I almost
I
forgot to
definitely
mention.
believe so. Yes.
That's why I'm thinking only keep 5 for now, and then push come to shove later down the line, just weight it down, and you have those tight ends to fill in those gaps. That's how I take it. That's kind of a risky roster move, but I think we have the personnel for it.
But hold on. 'Cause as you were talking, I'm thinking you count Craycraft out,
Yeah, because he's going to be on IR.
right? But if you put a player on IR before the season, they miss the whole season. Isn't that correct?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's something like this. If you guys know about that, put it in the comment. Because we don't have time to do Google searches right now. We need an outside
I think it's
producer to do
something.
that.
I think it's
But I
something
think if
where
you put somebody on IR before roster cut or something like that, you out for the year.
I don't
That's
think
what I'm
so.
thinking. I'm not sure, but I agree with. I never liked the Malik Washington pick.
What?
He's 5'8", 191. Fast, I hear. Fast, right? But how many short guys are we gonna have on the team? I never liked it.
I
I just this
I
is why
mean,
I'm sort of excited to have Izukama play more this year and show out more this year because he's a big receiver.
but
I
why are you
it's
worried about that when again Tanner Connor may make the roster. Johnu Smith is going to be on the roster. Izukama's really has a good chance of making the
Well, you can't
roster.
compare what a wide receiver can bring to the table versus
But
a
think about how
tight
our
end.
think about how our team is set up. Waddle and Tyreek,
I just
they're
think it's too
gonna
many short guys.
Waddle, Tyreek, and the OBG thing,
OBJ.
OBJ thing. With them 3 in the lineup, regardless of those players' heights, the third man, the fourth man catching the ball, receiving the ball, to me it's okay being a tight end or Izukama. Like I don't mind it. I don't mind the Malik Washington pick because that slot position is something we kind of struggled in towards the end when Craycraft and Barrios
Right.
were dealing with injuries, and I don't mind another young
But
guy
you can put any of those guys in the slots.
and think about
You
the
can put
future too.
Tyreek Hill in the slots. You can put Waddle in the slots. You can put
With
John New in
Ty,
the slots. You can put OBJ in, because they're not big guys and they're fast, right? To me, there was an issue last year that started to be a problem when they were jamming these guys at the line.
yeah.
Smaller wide receivers being jammed at the line, and it was becoming a problem for us. That's why I was expecting us to draft a 6 foot, 6'1", even a 5'11" guy.
But why though? I don't
Why?
really
Because we
see.
need that.
I like you should know more than anyone. That's what I wanted the most. But like
But why are you questioning it
because we got Johnu Smith, Izukama again
again?
has a chance to make
For
the
how
roster.
long?
What do you mean, Johnu Smith?
Yeah.
Same thing with Barrios and Craycraft. How long? So Malik Washington
Again,
could be the next man up. We have Julian Hill.
it's a
We
short
have
guy.
Connor Williams. Connor Williams. We have Tanner Connor. So we
I'm not counting on Connor like you. This Connor's probably gonna get 5, 6.
But then
plays
So what about us? So you're telling me we're gonna just trust a 6 round 6'3" guy?
I'm not saying that. I'm
Okay, but
saying
that is what you're
at
saying
least
because that's
have him on
what
the
the
roster, and
replacement.
he can turn out to be
So
a really great third.
and
Let's
why
say
not Tanner
OBJ.
Connor?
Let's say Tanner Connor is a tight end.
Sam
I'm
Laporta,
I'm talking
Travis
about.
Kelsey.
I know, but
No, we can't do
I'm
that.
not that high on Tanner Connor. You know, I mean,
That
he's
and
very serviceable, but I'm not.
that's
Why you
fine.
comparing him to like great tight ends?
No, you're making it seem as if a tight end can't fulfill that role, and a tight
Yeah,
end can definitely
if we
fulfill
had a
that
great
role.
tight end outside of John.
Yeah, but a 6 round whatever, however tall you want to be receiver is not gonna be considered a like he's not gonna be a great player in the beginning either.
You don't know that.
You don't know that about Tanner Connor.
I know that.
No, you
I've had him
don't.
last year and this year.
Barely. He barely got the opportunity.
He
And then
won't get the opportunity.
why?
So
Because
why
who's
you
in
think he
front
went
of
out?
him?
John Smith.
Exactly. So we have
You
that
proving my
receiver.
point.
You're proving my point. Because we have that big size
All right, let's
player.
agree to disagree. I don't have nothing against Malik Washington. From what I'm hearing, the dude could be a steal, right? Again, I just want a taller, more physical guy. I mean, he's 191. He's pretty big.
No,
You
that's
know,
very small.
he could be a running back. 5'8", 191. That's running back
That's an
size.
elusive running back. That's not a big.
I think that's bigger than Achan.
Probably.
So he could be a
A
running
chain
back.
is small.
Right, that's exactly what I'm saying. They're small guys. Um, uh, let's move on to tight end, which we touched on a
You
little
didn't tell
bit.
me your receivers.
Oh no, I agreed. I agree with
So what
yours.
was the point with the Malik
It's just
Washington?
the Malik Washington that I just wanted to accentuate on how I feel about it. Um, I I I wanted six guys: Hill, Waddle, Craycraft, Barrios, Eze, and
Washington? OBJ?
OBJ.
You didn't want Washington?
Over Easy? No. But Craycraft,
Washington's having a great camp.
I'm not saying he doesn't or not.
Way
Again,
better
this
than.
is nothing against. I'm not ready to give up on Ezra Kamara. Okay, let's say Craycraft was healthy.
Okay.
Now you had to pick between Malik Washington and Eric Ezra.
I don't know. I have this weird thing where I always tend to pick the rookie first to give him a shot because Izukama's at if if we're talking about him being maybe like the fourth string, then it's like okay, but it's like he's always at towards the back end. You know what I'm saying? From what I'm hearing about Washington, he's doing good. He's making the plays, and we tend to have a lot of success with these smaller receivers. Like, yeah, it's a problem, but
Well, you said he can.
It all goes back to how I feel about the tight ends. So I'm confident this year with the tight ends. I don't know if I'm the only Dolphins fan that feels this confident, but
No,
I feel like
I'm very high on the tight ends this year.
that big receiver thing that we were lacking. I think we're good now. Like I think we're good, especially if Easy E stays on the roster, which I think he will. So I guess
I think he will also. Miami's not going to give up on him. He's been showing flashes that he just needs an opportunity. Again, you say that he's always like on the back end of things, but last year we had Wilson and Craycraft is always solid, and Barrios has to be on there for returns, and he's solid as well. So of course he's going to be on the back end. You know, so I don't know, man. I
I don't
like
like that argument though because
no.
it's
You pay
true.
Wilson that much money, you're gonna
You're
play
right.
him.
You're right. I did forget about that. You're right.
You're gonna play him. You have to play him.
You're right.
And he turned out not too bad. He played better than I expected. What you expected, right?
Last year.
Last year, yeah, last year.
Okay, I'll give you that. So next is tight end.
Tight ends.
You were talking about Fortson. That's what you
Yeah.
pronounce it. So
Yeah,
I don't
but
know if that's
unfortunately,
no.
no.
So that was the odd man out, right?
That was the odd man out.
So it's Jonu, Smythe,
Connor,
Connor,
and Hill.
Yeah, I think that
Can't cut Hill.
I can't cut Hill or Connor.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't. I don't know. I just can't do it.
No. But I would have been like, what do you call that when you when the player gets cut, but it's like on the edge, like he should have made it, but he can't make it.
Yeah.
What do you call that again?
I don't know. Like
Uh,
you have a name for it?
no, there's a name for it. Oh my gosh, it'll come back to me.
Yeah.
Every year somebody like gets, like when you're doing, when they're selecting the Pro Bowlers,
Snubs.
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 Yeah,
Yeah. Um. So
O line.
O line. How many do you have before you
I
name?
have 9.
I have
I think we need 9.
I have 9. No, I have 10. Wait, do I have 10?
So that's why you kept 5 receivers.
I think so. I think I have 10.
All right. So
Yeah.
let me go with mine, and you can agree with me or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course, Armstead, Paul, um, Robert Jones,
Robert Jones.
Brewer, Liam, Driscoll.
I'm hearing good things.
No, I'm seeing good things too.
I'm seeing.
Yeah,
He might be the starter.
he might be.
Especially if Brewer's out, he's gonna start. Robert Jones.
Jones. No,
No.
I don't think so.
I don't
Okay,
know
hold
because
on. Let me
Wynn might be
finish.
hurt.
Lester Cotton,
Yep.
Austin Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
and Kendall Lamb. Those are my 9.
Are you missing? That's 10.
No, that's 9.
Oh yeah, that
One,
is
two, three,
9.
four, five,
That's
six,
9.
7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 9.
So you got 9 too.
I got 9.
You got the
Those
same list.
Same list. Drag, drag. Jack Driscoll.
Yeah.
He might start. He might not because Liam. Liam can play center and guard. It's just
Yeah. If
I don't
if
know what
Li-
we're gonna end up doing.
if Liam ends up, but do you start him over Robert Jones?
Robert Jones is more so like the backup for Win. So I
What do
don't
you mean for
know.
when? When is not? He's not even going to be on the watch. You talking about Isaiah Wynn?
He's on the pup.
Right.
No, I'm saying he's more like the backup. Exactly. So he's gonna be playing on the left side. We're talking about the right side.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know who's gonna start. We could do something kind of fun right now. Who do we think is gonna start?
Cotton.
No.
He's always kind of
He's
solid.
serviceable, but he's not over those. Not over.
Well, Jisco has
Liam.
been making a name for himself.
You have a prediction for the week 1?
Let's go through all the depth charts first, and then we talk
No, I'm
about
talking about the
starters.
O line.
Right? Can we finish first, and then we
Real quick. The
okay.
O-line.
All right. Cool.
I think it's gonna be Teron Jones, Robert.
I
Jones.
can't negotiate with this guy.
Robert Jones, Teron Armstead, Robert Jones. If Brewer's healthy, it's gonna be Brewer. If he's not healthy, it's going to be Liam. And then Driscoll and Austin Jackson.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But if Brewer,
it's all based on the extent of Brewer's injury.
If Brewer's healthy, I think Liam's still gonna start.
Of course.
Over Driscoll.
Of course. Liam proved last year that he has improved greatly.
He's improved, but it's better than Driscoll. That it's not whether he improved anymore.
He's going to be trusted more, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Can't forget fullback Alligator. Everyone knows that. He's not going anywhere. And let's go to the defense. So, who are your inside?
I'm excited about the defense this
year. The defense is way harder than the offense.
It was hard, yeah.
Who are your D tackle / D ends, like your bigger guys inside?
All right, so I got Calais Campbell.
I got 6.
I got 6. Do I have 6? Yeah, I have 6 too. I think we might end up picking that. Mind you, I haven't seen his list. He hasn't seen my list. So this is gonna be the first time we talk about it. So I got C. Campbell, Sealer. Those are the 2 interior starters. I have Benito Jones.
Yep.
I have your guy, Deshaun Hand.
Yeah.
He's been big on Hand from the get-go.
Yeah, last last season.
Uh, uh Peely,
Peely's definitely he has to make it.
and somebody that I'm kind of impressed with, Isaiah Mack.
What? Over Gallimore?
Yeah,
Okay, this is our
I
first disagreement.
I like Mac.
Gallimore?
I like Mac.
Gallimore is going to be. He's going to be our not our not edge rusher, but he's going to be our pass guy, our pass rusher when we lose guys. I think he's making the roster.
When if I think we're
He's
good
so
on I
athletic
think we're good
at his
on that.
size.
I think we're good at rushing that edge. I
No,
don't think
not edge, just like
I'm just
interior pass rush. Like I don't Gallimore.
yeah.
Wow.
I like Mac. Maybe because I have not paid that much attention to him, but I like Mac. I've paid way more attention to him.
I paid
So
more attention to Gallimore and heard more things about Gallimore. I'm more impressed with Gallimore. That's my pick. I
all right,
don't.
that's
um,
interesting. So we'll update you guys.
yeah,
Next week when it comes out.
yep. Okay, edge rushers. Yeah, go
And
ahead.
linebackers. Period.
Yeah. Let's do the edge rushers first.
Okay.
Yeah,
So of course Phillips Chubb.
yeah. Chubb's gonna be on the. He's on pup, right? Or injury
No,
reserve.
no.
Injury reserve.
Yeah.
So Chubb, we got to fill in that gap.
So I should have your phone on silent when you're doing a podcast. Bad Johnny. Bad Johnny. All right. So I have Phillips, Chubb, Agba, and Chop Robinson.
You. That's it.
Yeah, those are the four edge guys that we have.
Yeah, but who's gonna fill in? Because Chubb is not gonna take over a spot in the roster. So
Do we know that he's not going to be ready?
week one.
Yeah. Do we know
Yes,
that?
yes,
Because
we know
I
that.
don't know. I didn't hear
He
anything about
hasn't even.
that.
I haven't even seen him out there with the guys yet. So
He's a vet.
that does not matter.
I know, but Armstead doesn't practice at all, and he's week one. He's
But he's
on
there
there.
though.
Yeah, facts.
The guy that I have not filling in for him, but like a roster spot who's an edge rusher is Quinn Bell.
Quinn
I
Bell.
I
But
have
Quinn Bell, yeah,
I have
I had him as an outside linebacker
yeah,
instead of, but
he's not really an edge rusher.
he's
That's
not
what he
really.
is.
Yeah,
But that position.
maybe we
So
could just start
start him.
Chop.
No, I think he might.
Maybe we could just start him.
Either him
And
or
and
Ogbar is
and
gonna start.
Agba is gonna get all these rotations.
No, yeah, no.
So
Chop and Ogbar are gonna split.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it depending on the personnel. Those are gonna be the two starters till Chubb is back for sure.
yeah.
So you agree that Bell is that roster?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Is Bell gonna be our? Oh man,
He's-
what's
he's
his
probably gonna-
name? We had him last year. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite guys, man.
who?
He was a smaller.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
White kid.
Ginkle.
Ginkle. Yeah, Van Ginkle. Is that
That's
gonna
it.
be our new Van Ginkle?
I think Chop's gonna be our new Van Ginkle.
Well, Chop is Chop.
Chop is gonna be our new Van Ginkle though.
But what I'm saying is, when you have Van Ginkle, he could play like strictly linebacker, and he can play the edge as well. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Chop is like Chop
Pure
is
edge?
strictly edge.
I don't think
And
Bell
that's
is
the
gonna rush.
that's the comparison that I'm making.
I don't think Bell is gonna rush. Like really, I don't think so. I
So-
think he's just gonna be like a cover guy.
So this is why I said I saw him. I see him as just like an outside linebacker.
Yeah.
I don't consider him an edge guy.
Okay.
So let's talk about the
Interior-
linebackers.
And interior. David. I got 5. I got David Long, Jordan Brooks,
Yep.
Anthony Walker. He might be hurt.
I think you might be over your 53. If you have
No.
5, linebackers.
You gotta consider some of the people that I'm talking about are not gonna be like Odell, Craycraft, Chubb. Those guys are not gonna be. They're not gonna consume spots. So you have to consider that.
Tendo. You got Tyndall?
I have Tyndall. So, and I
It's
had put Anthony Walker. I added him because I added Channing Tyndall because we don't know about Anthony Walker. It's another lingering injury. We don't know if he's gonna be ready to go. So I just added that extra.
Anthony Walker. We don't know about it.
He's
He's
hurt.
injured.
He's
I
injured
didn't know
somehow.
that.
So it's just so many
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the way I'm seeing it is Tyndall's not gonna make it if Walker's good, and Tyndall's gonna fulfill
Really?
that role over Walker. I think Walker is like a veteran. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna lean more towards like the veterans in the linebacking room. Tyndall could make it though.
I have Tyndall making it.
Okay.
I have him making it.
Yeah. Um.
So we
And,
pretty much have the same people besides Tyndall and Walker. We can
and Gallimore,
flip
the
flop that.
Gallimore one. Oh, you're
No, I'm
talking
talking
about
about,
linebackers?
talking about linebackers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So corners.
Corners.
That's easy.
Corners. Hey, come in. Come say hi.
Before we go into the corners, come here. This is Jovan. Jovan, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Jovan, you're gonna be a Dolphins fan when you grow up. You should be a Dolphins fan right
I
now.
was already a Dolphins fan at his age.
By his age, yeah. All right. Say bye to everybody.
Go upstairs, Brody.
All right.
Corner, right?
Corners.
Oh, how many did you keep?
I got
I kept
5.
I kept 6. I'm not gonna lie.
So I got Ramsey, Fuller, Smith, Cam Smith, Ethan Bonner.
No Nick Needham.
Well, I got Needham on the roster, but as a nickel, and him and Kohu. But now I give up. Now I give away my. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, still corners. I thought
Yeah.
we were doing all the corners.
Yeah.
Nickel too. Okay, so I have
So I had an extra category, I guess.
Yeah, no. So I have the same thing. Ramsey, Fuller. You have Bonner?
I have Bonner.
Bonner, Cam Smith, Kader Kohu, and Nick Needham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, we got to say this. We remember, when Needham, first started playing, I'm like, get this guy out. I can't watch this guy, man. Get this guy out. And then he won my heart. That I have the utmost respect for Needham.
Yeah, he put in a lot of work.
Needham keep telling the organization or the coaches, you guys are not gonna get rid of me.
Yeah,
that's respectable.
Yeah.
And every year so far, you can't cut the guy.
Nope.
So that's commendable, man.
Yep. I think safety is a little tiny bit harder, but not for me.
What?
Because a lot of people,
a little tiny bit.
A lot of other people felt like there was a whole bunch of undrafted free agents that we signed that it was like hard to like not cut them, but for me it wasn't that hard.
It wasn't that hard.
I had Javon Holland, Poyer, Marcus May, Elijah Campbell, and Patrick Morris.
That's it.
So I did not expect us to agree this much. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but what may end up happening though, we might have we may keep McMorris, in the practice squad. We may, but I won't be surprised if we make the team because I have him making the team. But I'm saying they might go that route because I think they're not gonna cut him.
Yeah. All right. So, kicker Jason Sanders,
same guys from last year.
Jake Bailey,
Ferguson,
long snapper.
Yeah.
And that's that. With that,
that's that. So, you guys tell us what you think of our 53 man roster picks. What you like, what you didn't like. Tell us in the comment section. Let's keep this moving.
All right.
There's some things we need to talk about, man.
Got some things we need to talk about.
Yeah.
We
gotta talk about Tua. We gotta talk about Tua every episode.
We have a reaction for you guys. I'm gonna pull up.
Wait, can we talk about Tua and Flores first?
Yeah, yeah,
Because I can't wait.
yeah.
I got to talk about this. So, as you guys may already know, uh, Tua was on the what's his name? Oh man, on his show. I forgot his name, but he's been a long time sports guy. Oh, I forgot. Anyway, so he was asked about the difference between um, him under Flores and McDaniel, and as Tua being Tua, you know, he poured out his heart.
That was
That
not Tua being Tua. We've
that's
never
Tua.
seen.
Tua's always honest. What are you talking about?
No, he's
Tua's
never
always
talked about. He never talked when it comes to certain things, as far as talking about, unless it was his college days. I feel like since he's been in the NFL, he hasn't been that vocal of how he felt about how things are being
no,
ran.
no. You get what I said.
Unless
You get what I'm saying.
until Mike McDaniel got here.
No, you get what I said wrong. I'm not talking. You're talking about specifics. I'm talking about when you ask Tua questions. When we pause, ask him questions. He's always honest. He's not afraid to talk about personal things. He's not afraid to talk about how he feels. He doesn't
Uh,
really give political answers. That's what I'm saying. You
I
know?
feel like, but I feel like he never been asked a question to
No,
where that could be this
but you
controversial.
but
Like,
you
you know
keep
what I'm
talking
saying?
about specifics. Of course, if the question never got to him, he's not going to answer it. I'm just somebody in general. But Tua answered in a way, not in a way, but he pretty much say that under Flores, it was hell for him. That he didn't feel appreciated. Um, he didn't feel supported, and now he's in a way better situation where he feels like his new head coach believes in him, support him, and and people are saying that he called Flores a terrible person. Maybe he was making that connection, but I think that's just a word that just came out, when he was giving an example. If you were a president and you got a terrible person next to you, so uh, people are connecting that to Flores. And on the back end, Flores was asked about it, and he responded very well.
Yeah,
Um,
Flores responded well.
I, of course, as diehard Dolphins fan and a Tour fan, you gotta balance, that relationship. Where okay, we really love Tua, and we hated the fact that he had to deal with that for 2 years. But at the same time, you have to recognize that under Flores, we had two winning seasons.
No, he flipped it around.
Under Flores, when he knew his first season, when he knew that we wanted to tank, he's like, I'm not tanking.
Yep.
I'm coaching.
I always liked his coaching style, as far as like how I'm saying on the field, like how he plays and how he talks to like how he motivated players. I still kind of respect how he is as a coach. Like
Yeah.
I just feel like that
But at
with
this
Tua specifically was wrong.
but at the same time, I always felt that he was a little weird. Like he's a weird not in a bad way, but I don't think he's that social. I don't think he's like you see Mike McDaniel, always laughing, joking. He has a presence, that makes you feel very comfortable around him. I always felt like Flores was a dictator. My way, no way. You know, there's no messing around. There's
Under
I
that
felt
under that
and this
Belichick
and
tree.
and and I was looking at him the other day when when he was answering questions. When he smiles and he give you a little laugh, I'm like, this guy should smile more. But he feels like a robot to me.
No, I
He
don't. I
looks
think
like a
you're
robot.
dragging it a little
I'm
bit.
not. He
Give it
always looked like
just from
too
because a lot of
straightforward.
a lot of coaches are like that. And
Yeah, but
he came from Belichick. I think that's where that comes from.
this what fact. It's facts. The guy is a little antisocial to me. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I've noticed that about him. But I respected the way he responded. He didn't deny anything. I wish that he could have said a couple things more.
I don't think there was much for him else to say. I like the fact that this is the way he approached it. He didn't deny anything.
And he
That
didn't
was the
admit to anything as well.
I don't think he needed to. I don't think as a face for an as a face or part of the face of an organization, I don't think you admit to something like that.
If you want
Because
to grow, like you said,
no,
you have.
no. I think the way he went about it, like, let's not forget, like, his future's on the line. His job could be on the line. Like, he has a job to do at the end of the day. He has players. He doesn't want to. If he admits to that, what does that do to your locker room? You know what I'm saying?
No,
The
he could
way
have said something like, "Yes, I was harsh to Tua.
it doesn't
Yes, I
matter.
mischaracterized. Maybe he's
Why does he have to do that?
I don't know. I guess it's just me. Maybe I want more.
Like, he doesn't have to
I
do
get
that.
you.
As
You're
a
right.
as
I
a
guess it's
man,
just me. I wanted more.
he sat down and said, when I hear things like that, it doesn't make me happy because I know that's not who I am, and I'm going to do everything necessary to grow from it. I think as a man,
I was just mad.
as a coach, I feel like as a coach, I feel like a lot of coaches feel entitled and feel like they don't owe any players any apologies or anything. But I feel like that was probably one of the most, like when it comes to these interviews with coaches, that was one of the most times I've seen him kind of a little vulnerable. Like, he's usually stone faced, answer question, next
You
question.
see,
I see what you're saying.
you
I
see what
never
I'm
denied
saying?
it. I
Yeah.
never denied it.
Well, you saying I'm pushing it, but
No, because you say he's
that's
like a robot. I feel like he's like that because he's under that
he's like a
Belichick,
robot.
just under that Belichick. He's
He's a
here for
robot
his
like
job.
he's a robot like Belichick.
No, he's
When
here
you
for
see Belichick
when
smile or make a small joke, he's like, "What? He can do
no,
that?"
no, because you see him only like that when it comes to football. I've seen Belichick in a broadcast probably a year ago. He was acting like a normal person. I'm like, it's when they're working. A lot of Kyle Shanahan, it doesn't smile. I rarely see Andy Reid makes jokes sometimes, but like, Nick Saban's a good one. Nick Saban, when it's time for football, they're
Nick
pretty
Saban is a
serious.
dictator too.
So, you ever see Nick Saban just do a regular interview? He's a chill guy. It's when it comes to their job, they take it very serious. But that's besides the point. I just feel like Brian Flores, he approached the situation fine, and it was the right way to approach it. I don't think he did too little. Maybe he could have done more. I don't think it was necessary to do more.
No.
Um,
I'm right there with you.
and this is what I really have to say. This is what pissed me off. Um, what a lot of people took from this is, if you're a certain player, you need to, like everyone's saying, you need to know how to talk to your players. You need to know how to communicate to your players because not all players are built like that. I have a problem with this, and I know I'm gonna sound like the biggest Tua fanboy for this, but I don't even care. What people keep failing to realize, because people were comparing it to Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady was a 7 round pick, and he had to deal with Bill Belichick. Da, da. I'm like, Tom Brady didn't have a hip injury in the beginning of his career. Like, gone through injuries, like terrible injuries, like you might not be able to play football.
And fought like hell to
Injuries.
come back.
He was dealing with concussions. Even didn't he deal with a slight concussion the year before Mike McDaniel?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He dealt with the thumb injury. Like, he was dealing with injuries, not even being able to play football. And then his first year, you don't know what Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to do, whether he was going to stay or retire. He ended up retiring, but like, Ryan Fitzpatrick was winning us games. So it's not about being built like that or not. He was human. He's human. I feel like the things that
They're
Brian
generalizing it too much. Like
yeah,
all football players shouldn't have a emotions. She wouldn't have, a heart. She would,
and
like, come on.
and I'm just, and I don't want it to be this thing where because Ryan Clark made some great points, but I don't want it to be this thing where it's like, oh, you're being too soft on two, you're being too soft. No, I get it. Like when you're getting coached and you get cussed out, you're an NFL player, you're supposed to take it. But at the same time, the things that he was saying, it was demoralizing. And as a great leader, you want to make your, it doesn't matter in what field you're in, you want to make your I don't want to call it, how do you call it?
Right.
Not your colleague, but like you want to make your quarterback feel good. Like you want to make
Well, that's what I was about to
your
say.
teammates feel good. Like you want to. It's a psychology thing. Like being a coach is a psychology thing, and having everyone to buy in and believe in themselves to go get the job done. You don't just say messed up things and expect them to take it as, oh, I need to do better every single time.
Well, there's a difference between hard coaching and completely making somebody feel they're
Like crap.
worthless.
Yeah.
And when people are saying, "Oh, you're an NFL player, you're a professional, you're supposed to take it," no, but there's a difference between abuse and, yo, I'm gonna be hard on you. I think all NFL coaches can take it. They've been taking it since Pee Wee, taking it since in college. I think they can take hard coaching. Not 99% of NFL players can take that.
Tua Tagovailoa
That wasn't hard
played.
coaching.
Tua Tagovailoa played for Nick Saban. That's all I'm gonna
Right.
say.
Like people forget Nick Saban. Like I don't know if you've seen the documentary, that I've seen when he was in
Alabama.
yeah. And players are talking about how, how he is as a coach. And you think Tua is just gonna, let hard coaching, get to him? No, that's not what it was about, It's everything else. Then, and we had that conversation outside of this, where I feel like most people who are talking about Tua's first 2 years, when they are equating it to success, they're like, oh, look at his first 2 years. It's Mike McDaniel, it's Tyreek Hill, because you're not really paying attention.
Yeah.
You know, uh, he was put in a terrible, terrible situation his first 2 years with a coach who didn't think much of him or wanted somebody else, with uh, um, with him having to deal with three different offensive coordinators in 2 years, with him dealing with subpar receiving core, until Waddle came, and that was the only guy pretty much he had that was reliable. There was so many things
A
stacked
terrible
up.
O line.
A terrible, terrible O line. Name me one quarterback who's played behind a terrible O line and who's been, highly successful. I can't think of one. So you got all these things stacked up against, this guy, this young, quarterback coming into the league, and you expect him to be what? Patrick Mahomes? Even Patrick Mahomes can't be that. Can't be Patrick Mahomes with all this stacked up against them. So people, and I think we've said this in the past. Tua's first 2 years, to me, it's an incomplete. Can you really judge him? And besides all that, he had a winning record. Besides all that, he's improved year after year, but he's getting no credit.
Yep.
It's all about, oh, he has not been, the first 2 years they didn't want him. That's one thing that people say that gets to me. Well, one of many things. Like they said, the organization did not want him. You hear this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't want him, he would be out. Flores would still be there.
Yep.
Flores got fired
Because of this.
mainly because of Tua, his situation with Tua. So the organization wanted him. Flores wasn't too confident in having him.
No.
I'm not even going to go and say didn't want him, because we don't know for sure. So to me, that's what it is. I think we may have a video that we want to comment on, we want to react on, or
Yeah, you still
do you
want
want to
to?
do you want to wrap it up? Because
Yeah, we
I think
pushed
we
it.
should wrap it up. I think we pushed it today.
Yeah. Um,
So, um,
we'll definitely have that video in the next one. The next video is mainly going to be about um how we view going into the season, what our expectations is. The main part of the video will be our predictions of the entire schedule. See how the season's gonna shape
it's
up.
giving me homework,
Um,
man.
and
That's a lot.
and we'll probably get a video in there. So thank you guys like always, and take it away.
Yeah, we're gonna have some goodies coming up on our next podcast. If you guys stayed this long, I know it's long. We thank you for sticking around. We're gonna drop some clips here and there throughout the week, and of course, I'm gonna say it again because it's so important to us, so important to our growth that you like and subscribe and maybe share it a couple times with your friends and family. Uh, Again, that way it shows us that we got some people watching us.
Yep.
We don't expect this to blow just blow out of the water. That we're getting hundreds of thousands of views. We're growing this, and we want to grow with you guys. So stick around. We got some more great contents coming up. On that note, we are SF Sports Therapy. Johnny and Jay and Sean J, we are out.